Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second edition of the 2023 Ledger right here on the 3 Technique. If you don't know what the Ledger is, it is our gambling segment where we pick against each other. We make some friendly wagers, no real currency is involved, of course, but we are making our picks, our top 5 picks each week using 100% nuggies to see who can collect the most nuggies by the end of the year. Week 0 was a little bit rough, guys. It was not the best betting spread. There weren't a lot of options for us to choose from. We tried our best. Some injuries cut into our winnings. Some just wild and wacky finishes in Week 0 where the bad beats were starting early this year, put plain and simple. So, guys, without further ado, let's jump right in to Week 1. And Garrett, you were the smallest loser last week. The standings for you real quick. Mitch and I went over combined last week, so we are sitting at negative 100. Garrett is the smallest loser, sitting at only negative 2363. So, sir, you clearly know more than us, so by all means.
Hey, that's a win in my book, okay? 2363 out, that's no bad. I'm okay with that. Of course, so looking at the lines on my bookie, I decided to get a little bit crazy. Decided to go a little bit heavy on the parlays this week. I'm trying to catch up with you guys, race to the bottom or something. So got to go find my money if I can. So we're gonna swing big. First one I have is a parlay. This is my ACC parlay. I'm picking Georgia Tech plus 7.5 against Louisville and Duke plus 13 against Clemson. Betting 30 nuggies to get my 78. Look, at the end of the day for me, Georgia Tech wrote their preview in our preview magazine. Really excited about what they could be doing, and I'm not big on Louisville this year. I know that you guys both like Louisville. I'm going to sit that one out this year. Think there's a lot of turnover, and they are playing that game, I believe, in Atlanta. So I'm taking that home field advantage, kind of, for Georgia Tech, and we'll take it and run with it. And then, of course, Duke against Clemson. I'm really high on Duke. I think they win this game outright. We'll talk about that on the full pod, so go check that out. But, I think that's going to be my ACC pick. My second bet for the week, I'm betting 20 nuggies on my DFW Metroplex parlay, picking TCU to cover that 20.5 points against Colorado, and SMU to cover 20 will be at that game against La Tech. That's going to be 20 nuggies to win 52. I just like both those teams. Thought it'd be kind of fun to, shout out the place where we all live, DFW Metroplex. So shout out Dallas, shout out Fort Worth, shout out all the beautiful places in between. UNT money line, that's my third bet. That's going to be 20 nuggies to win 39-20. I do like UNT to end up winning this game against Cal anyways as well. I know that there's loads of reasons to just pick the Power 5 team, but UNT might be a little bit sneaky. And Cal, they're not going to be very sneaky at all. They're not going to be very good this year. And my last parlay, this is my big hitter. This one probably won't happen, but we're going to go ahead and swing for the fences. We're going to go ahead and say parlay. We're going to go A&M minus 38 plus Texas Tech minus 14 plus Baylor minus 27.5 plus Texas minus 35. We're going to go a little Texas roundtable type of thing. And go all those teams to cover those massive spreads. We're going to go, Texas football supremacy over here. 30 nuggies for me is a big ball in play to win 360. So I'm going big on this one. 3 parlays. You got to lead like this. I feel pretty safe in where I am. I can go make it competitive next week, or I can completely put this thing out. So we're taking a big swing here on the 1-0.
Absolutely living and dying by the parlays. And what I think is really interesting about your parlays is, specifically your ACC one, that is a long wait between Friday night and Monday night.
Yeah.
This was, I'm just imagining here in a casino just camping out, waiting for the possibility of cashing that if Georgia Tech covers on Friday night.
Look, Friday night you could see Louisville beat them by 20, and it's not a wait at all.
It's over, yeah. So, but if that first leg hits, it's a long
time to
Monday night. I forgot to mention off the top, all of our lines are brought to you by MyBookie. Check them out for all of your sports betting needs, sports betting references. Mitch, go ahead and hit us with your picks this week, man.
Yeah, so I went with 3 last week. I thought, let's keep everything in front of us. Let's stay out over our skis. And that didn't happen. We went 0 for 3 last week. Couldn't even hit 1 of 3, which was disappointing. But you know what? We're fine. We did our research. We're back in the lab this week. 5 bets. Let's start with the real Miami. Miami of Ohio is going to cover plus 16.5 against an unknown school named Miami of Florida. That's 20 Nuggies to win 18. I really feel good about Miami of Ohio. There's the rumors coming out that Tyler Van Dyke might not be healthy, ready to go, at least not at full capacity. Plus, I think Miami is just incredibly overblown once again. They win the offseason, and then they have yet to show it on the field, at least consistently. So I'm going to take the Redhawks to cover pretty comfortably, plus 16.5. Hey, their quarterback, Brett Gabbert, says they're going to win outright. So I'll roll with that all day long. Number 2, we're taking North Texas plus the 7 versus Cal. Just 10 Nuggies on that. Cal's coming to the Lone Star State. It's going to be 160 degrees. And guys, I don't know about you, but Cal's not exactly known for their offense, while North Texas is. So, give me the Mean Green to at least keep it close. Preston Stone is going to be the quarterback there, and I really like what the Mean Green have on offense, especially in the running game. I think that's kind of an unsung hero for UNT. We're going to parlay UTSA -1 against Houston and the Rutgers money line against Northwestern. They were at -265. I'm going to bet 20 Nuggies on that to win just over 32. Listen, I'm a brave soul for taking Rutgers. I know that, but I wrote their preview, and I do believe that if Rutgers' offense can get going, their defense is actually a top 50 unit. And so I think the Scarlet Knights will be able to shut down whatever Northwestern puts on the field from an offensive standpoint. Just can they score enough points to win it comfortably? That's kind of the only question I have in my mind. If it's close late, then maybe Northwestern finds a way to win. I'm going to take Duke plus 13 when I got it. 30 Nuggies on this bet. Look, we're all on Duke. We'll talk about that in our week 1 preview coming up, or in the next video if you're watching this on YouTube. But I really like what the Blue Devils have. I don't think they're going to win the game outright, but I do think they keep it closer than 2 scores at home against Clemson. And then give me the under 49.5 Virginia Tech versus Old Dominion. Again, 2 schools that don't exactly light up the scoreboard when it comes to offense. 20 Nuggies on that. All told, I'm wagering 100 to win 105. Listen, let's get 1 bet right this week, and we'll go smaller. Y'all are in on some big parlays. I'm going to try and keep it between the mustard and the mayo, and, let's just make my money back.
I love that under bet there at the end. That game was 20-17 last year at Old Dominion.
Ugly game.
I don't think either team really did a lot this offseason to drastically improve the offense, so I really like that for you.
Grant Wells is the quarterback at Va Tech. A lot of interceptions, not a lot of touchdowns. So, I like the Hokies. I'm a fan, but not to hit the over.
So as long as they're not getting returned for touchdowns, we're in pretty good shape there. So I'll go ahead and round us out with my picks really quickly. I've got the Tennessee Volunteers -28 against Virginia and Nashville. That is a massive number, but I don't think Tennessee, has much trouble covering that. I don't think Virginia's offense is ready to stop I don't think Virginia's defense is ready to stop the Tennessee offense in that game. I think Joe Milton's going to have a really, really big game. Breaking in some new receivers to be sure, but there's a lot of returning talent on that offense as well. I think they'll put up a ton of points. My only concern is Tennessee giving up a couple late touchdowns when the 2s are in. Could be a problem, but I think they'll be up by enough points so that won't really matter. Western Kentucky -11.5 hosting South Florida. I've got 20 Nuggies. I forgot to mention I have 20 on Tennessee, but I'll take 20 on Western Kentucky as well. Explosive offense against one of the worst teams in the FBS at home. I feel pretty comfortable there. Texas Tech, Wyoming. The over-under was set at 50.5. And I did some digging on this, guys. You can bet the team over-under for Wyoming currently at 17.5. So if you're telling me that Wyoming is in the 17-point range, I feel completely comfortable that this over is going to hit, with Texas Tech picking up the rest of that slack. Add in the fact that Tech's breaking in some new players and Wyoming's at home. Could get a couple early touchdowns. I think Tech wins that game pretty handily, but will be a lot of points scored up in Wyoming. So give me the over at 50.5, 20 on that one again to win 18-18. New Mexico first half bet. This is the kind of as weird as I'm getting here, but New Mexico's going to College Station this week. And the first half line is A&M minus 23. Guys, I don't know about you. I don't feel confident in the A&M offense in game one under Petrino being up by more than 23 points at halftime. If they are, I'm pumped to lose this bet. So really, it's a win-win for me. Give me New Mexico plus 23 in the first half. I think the Aggies have no trouble in that game, but it won't be. I don't think they'll be up by more than 23 at halftime. And then my fun little parlay, I've got a 3-legger here. I've got UTSA. It was only -1 when I got in on it, so I got in early. I cashed in. It's now been up to -2, but I've got -1. The North Texas money line, I'm really high on the Mean Green to upset Cal this week. And give me the Liberty money line against Bowling Green early on Saturday. I think it's like a 9.5-point spread. I thought about putting the spread number in there, but just in case, just to be a little safer, we'll take the money line. 20 on that one as well to win 122.76. Guys, here's hoping we do a little better this week. Here's hoping that we can bring home some of those coveted nuggies. And you know what? It's going to be fun either way. It's going to be great watching all this huge week one slate with you guys. If you want a recap of what our picks were, check out our Instagram. We'll have some nice graphics up with all of our picks. And you can follow along right here on YouTube and on Instagram all season long to see our picks and see who is taking home the most nuggies. Guys, until next week, we'll see you next time.
Gracious, how about